Colin Parker is here to tell us all about the weekend movies. Did you see Thor?
I saw Thor in 3D.
In the T-Rex?
In the T-Rex.
That's the only place to see Thor, in the T-Rex, of course. How was it?
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm not really a comic book movie guy. You know, the Iron Mans and Green Lanterns and all those kind of things. But it was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it.
Nice.
Quite a bit. It was a little bit, different from your typical comic book movie. I mean, there was actually some character development.
Oh, stop with that silly talk.
I'm telling you, it was a little bit strange. But it was a really good, solid action. Chris Hemsworth plays Thor.
Okay.
You probably know his younger brother Liam from. He's just got cast in the Hunger Games. He was.
Okay.
And Natalie Portman, of course, and Anthony Hopkins, and a couple other people. But
Sir Anthony.
But it was actually pretty good. I mean, general idea is that Thor is very battle hungry and headstrong, and he gets banished down to Earth by his dad, and he trips on Natalie Portman, who's an astrophysicist, and it's kind of a fun setup. And,
pretty typical story.
So it's all most of it was shot in
happens to us all, right?
in New Mexico and California and that kind of stuff. So I mean, there's lots of good battle sequences and stuff, and then the Thor's home realm, Asgard scenes are just incredible. I mean, just wide open landscapes, and it's all computer generated, obviously, but it was just really crazy looking. And
was it worth being in 3D?
Oh,
How sometimes you can watch a movie and you're like going, did it really need to be in 3D?
I had completely forgotten it was 3D when I walked into it. I'm like, oh shoot, it's 3D, because I'm not the biggest 3D fan, but it's certainly T-Rex worthy.
Yeah.
3D, I'm not really a.
Okay.
I mean, it's got to really have a reason to be 3D for me to accept it as being 3D.
Did he throw stuff at the screen?
No,
okay,
no.
Because that's what I want. Hey, if you're in 3D, throw stuff at the screen at the camera,
right, give me
so
some
it looks
action.
like it's coming at me.
Exactly. Yeah,
man.
No, it was more gimmicky in this case than anything. But it was still certainly fun.
And what else did you see?
I saw Something Borrowed with Jennifer Goodwin and John Krasinski and Kate Hudson. And then I also saw Jumping the Broom with Angela Bassett and Loretta Devine and that whole gang.
Of the two of those, which one would you say?
I actually liked Jumping the Broom better. It was a much more meatier story. I mean, there was some pretty good characters in it. It was a good story to it. Problem I had with Something Borrowed, and I'll be free to admit this one too, is that I just didn't like the source material, the book that it's based on.
Okay.
And there are women the world over that love these books by Emily Giffin. But I mean, the people are just terribly unlikable people.
Are they making Something Blue, which is I think one of those?
Yeah, they're making it. Yeah,
okay.
and there's a scene during the closing credits
that alludes to that.
Sets it up. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's also a scene during the Thor closing credits too. So stay for both of those. But I mean, the acting was good in Something Borrowed. It was a perfectly fine movie, but the characters are just so unlikable. And I mean, the people that read the books know the characters and obviously love the characters because they love the books.
These books.
So.
Is that would it be something like Sex and the City where like I didn't really want to go with my wife to see that and she went with some girlfriends?
No, it's not as bad as Sex and the City.
Not so bad.
No.
Okay.
I mean the general idea is Kate Hudson and Jennifer Goodwin are best friends since childhood. Kate Hudson is getting married to Jennifer's longtime crush, and they end up getting together. On the eve of his wedding to Kate Hudson. So there's all kinds of...
So of Thor, Jumping the Broom, Something Borrowed, which one would you say is the best one to see?
In all fairness, if the movie, kind of... or whatever the term is, stokes your flames a little bit. Yeah, go to that one.
Which one?
Because I mean, they're all three. I mean, Something Borrowed. If you like Emily Giffin's books, go to Something Borrowed. If you want the best of the movies was Jumping the Broom
completely.
But if you're a comic book guy and you like the action adventure, then go to Thor. I mean, none of them were terrible. But they're three completely different,
you're right,
audiences. So,
absolutely.
I'm not going to, if you like Thor, then you're going to love Jumping the Broom. It's
Thor fans will love Jumping the Broom.
So that's
right. Yes.
But I mean, they were all perfectly fine. Jumping the Broom, I thought was a little bit better than the other two, but they're all perfectly good. Well, enjoy yourself at the movies. What do you say? Like after 8:00, we give away like a 4-pack to go see Something Borrowed. How about that? Sure. It's a good like girls' night out kind of thing. Yeah. You wanna do that? Let's do that with Beat the Clock. Colin, thank you, man. Absolutely. You want to read his review about these movies or others? You go to EssexCinemas.com, right? Yep, or the Facebook pages for Essex Cinemas or Cumberland 12. They're both there. Nice. Thank you, bro.